Hi there. So it's Mercedes here from Reflections of the Sacred Self again. And I thought I'd mix it up a little bit today. And rather than giving you a long spiel about my life and all the stuff that I'm going through, we're going to talk about 5 gentle and soulful rituals to help you reconnect with yourself. And this is when life feels busy, overwhelming, or disconnected. Okay, so we're really going to give you something practical to do. So maybe like There's something I've experienced in the past where you're running on all like autopilot, you're caring for everybody else, you've got so many things going on, and you actually have lost touch with yourself, what you really need, and it's like you're totally ungrounded because you're kind of up here. And this is about you to reconnect with you, to ground yourself, to come back into the present moment. So by the end of this video, you'll have 5 really simple but powerful rituals that you can kind of bring into your daily life to help bring you back to center whenever you need to. All right. So we're going to jump in. I'm not gonna waffle on for ages today about stuff. But these practices are all things that I try and I do, and I see how they're going and um, interact with them. So they're just really simple things that you can do, and we're going to get started with the morning grounding breath. So the idea of this is you can start your day really rooted, really calm, and really present. And I find things like this really helpful in the morning because I wake up foggy, I struggle to get moving. And so things like this that really bring me back to my body help a lot. So to do it, just find yourself somewhere comfortable to sit. Ideally, you want to be sitting upright because whenever you breathe, you want to make sure that you can actually expand your lungs because if you're slouching and you can't breathe properly. So you want to be able to breathe properly. So then you just put one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and this will allow you to feel your breath when you're breathing. So you'd inhale deeply through your nose to the count of 4, or whatever feels comfortable for you. You want to do it longer, then do it longer. But you then want to exhale slowly through the mouth for 6 counts. So the exhale is slightly longer than the inhale. If you find your breath is like really long, then inhale for 6 and exhale for 8, or inhale for 8 and exhale for 10, whatever feels comfortable for you, and it depends speed you count at. If inhaling for 4 is really, really hard, then inhale for 3 and exhale for 5. Just remember to make the exhale a couple of counts longer than the inhale, and that will give you the benefit. So I'll just do a couple of rounds with you. So hand on chest, hand on belly, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll do a round without me counting. And again. So you can do this for 2, 3, 4 minutes, whatever feels comfortable for you. When you're new to breathing, you might find that you get lightheaded very quickly. It's really normal. If that happens, just stop and let your breathing return to normal, and that will go away. It's to do with the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the body, and your body's just responding to that, and it's perfectly normal. This works really well because it helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest or digest one. For the simple terms, complicated terms don't need to use, but that's the rest or digest. So it sets that calm tone for the whole day. And you can even, when you're doing it, just do your daily affirmation that you're going to be doing with it, or you can just say, I am safe, I am here. So you really begin to connect, ground. I mean, I've just done that with you and I feel really grounded and connected. I'm like, where am I going with this? Because I feel really calm. And that's just something you can bring in to start your day if you feel very ungrounded. So the next sort of ritual I want to bring for you is called the check-in pause. And this is something that you can use throughout the day, and it's to check in with how you're feeling to stop yourself pushing through. Now, this is really important for me because I have a real tendency to push myself through my limits, to really just try and grind stuff out. And then I push myself until I burn out. So doing this is really important so I can check in and monitor what's going on in my body, what's going on in my brain, how am I feeling? Do I need a rest? So you can set a reminder on your phone to go off 2 or 3 times and come to this practice. So when it does, you just take a moment to stop, take a couple of deep breaths in. So you just breathe in and out, just connect to the body and how the body's feeling. And then you ask yourself, what's my energy level? What am I feeling right now? And what do I need? So connect with how you feel internally. This isn't an external in the brain. I don't want this to be a brain exercise. I want this to be a feeling exercise, a body exercise. So what energy level does your body have? How does your body feel right now? How do you feel internally? And what do you need? What does your body need right now? And just give yourself 60 seconds to acknowledge the answer, write it down if you need to. Or take action. So it might be that you need some water, or that you need to stretch, or maybe you need to take some deep breaths, or maybe you need to get up and move away from whatever it is you're doing and have a proper break. And that's really listening to what is happening. And this works really well because what you're doing is you're creating that habit of self-awareness. So once you start checking in on a regular basis and you make it a habit, then it's something you start to do more often because it becomes part of who you are. You, someone that checks, especially if you act on the awareness that comes through, that becomes part of who you are. So then you're starting to listen to your natural body's rhythms. So it's a form of gentle self-care as well. So when we're thinking we've got to do loads of stuff to cram in self-care, it's a small 1-minute exercise, self-care throughout the day. So that's a really simple one that you can hopefully just implement into anything that you want to do. So ritual 3 is journaling for presence. Now, I'm going to clarify this. I usually voice journal. However, for this one, I wouldn't voice journal. There is some huge benefits to writing things down, the way that it slows you, thinks you, connects you, grounds you. And this whole exercise is designed to clear mental clutter and to allow you to hear your inner voice a bit more clearly. Okay, so you're just going to come to that point where you're listening. And you can take 5 or 10 minutes over this, either first thing in the morning, in the evening, or at a time that you feel comfortable journaling. And this is going to be as well, over time, what you actually journal will be what comes through from your inner voice. Okay, so you can journal internally what's coming out. You can use prompts like today I feel, or today I felt, if you're doing it at the end of the day. One thing my body is asking for. And I feel most myself when. So you're starting to kind of get into that idea of who am I? How do I feel? And you can even ask yourself, did I listen to my body today? Or what did my body have to tell me today? So you're starting to kind of like journal on the body, the feelings, the connections. When was I most present today? When was I least present? So you're starting to kind of check in with yourself. Okay, when did I allow myself to leave the presence of my body and where I am and go somewhere else? So you're knowing what is it, and then you start to kind of get an idea of what triggers that. And this is all about slowing the mind, processing the emotions, and making space for clarity. And over time, this shifts an awful lot of what's happening in your mental chatter away from the negative into very practical. Actually, what's happening for me right now? How do I feel? What does my body need? What do I need? And those are very, very practical things. We just calm and brings us really back into being present in the present moment. Okay, I'll take a breath myself, doing lots of talking. Right. So the 4th ritual is a sensory reset. And this is, again, it's another great exercise to get you out of your head and into your body. So we're starting to connect with the senses, the feelings, the sensations that the body is having. And this is where you can pick one sense and focus on it completely for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so we're really going to zone out everything else. So you might want to get a, say, cup of herbal tea or um, a scented candle or some essential oils, and just spend that time. If you're focusing on smell, smelling the thing that's in front of you, and just focus on the smell. So you're really kind of like connecting, zoning everything out, but coming into the body, into the present. Or you might want to focus on touch. So if you've got a textured fabric, you may want to use your hands to feel that fabric for a couple of minutes, just to really connect in with how that feels. Um, or you might do sight, and then you might pick something to watch, like a flickering candle, or something. If you've got like a tree outside and there's a bit of wind, you can watch it blowing in the wind. Or you could do taste as well. So you can then use mindful eating. So you can eat something very, very slowly and focus on the taste within the mouth. So this is about bringing you to the present moment. This is about mindfulness and awareness. So when we start to do these exercises, we connect with now. And part of the reason why this works so well for how you feel is when we are in those negative mental spirals, we're either worrying about something that's happened and it's been and gone, or we're thinking about something that's coming in the future. And the thing is, we have no control over those right now. We only have control over the present moment. And so that's why we get into these spirals of anxiety and negativity and depression and all of these things going around in our heads, because we're focusing on the things we don't have control over. So when we bring ourselves back into the body, into the present moment, into our current awareness, we're putting ourselves into a position where we have control over what it is that we are actually doing at that moment. And so that can have huge benefits for calming the mind and changing your whole perspective on life. Okay, so last one. And this is an evening release and gratitude. So this allows you to let go of the day, any weight that you're carrying, and sort of come into a sense of peace before you get into bed. And you might want to light a candle for this, do it like a little ritual, just dim the lights. And then you place both hands on your heart and just take 3 slow, deep breaths. So whenever we do something like this, we calm ourselves. So really bring that level of anxiety down. And when we breathe deeply, we instantly activate the rest or digest system in the body, because we're signaling to our body it's okay to breathe, so we're safe. That's a whole other story about breath that I'm not going to go into right now. But basically, when we breathe deeply, we put ourselves into rest or digest. And then just think of one thing you're grateful for that came up from the day or from your life. Just one thing you're grateful for. And then one thing from the day that you're releasing, something you're letting go, that you no longer need to hold. You can just release it. And while you're kind of keeping that gratitude for that wonderful thing in your life, imagine the thing you're releasing leaving your body as you exhale. So just imagine it going and leaving, and remaining is that feeling of gratitude. And this is a lovely thing to do because it signals safety to your nervous system, and that helps you to go to sleep before bed. So if there's something that you think you might be worrying about, you can release it, you can let it go, and you can come into that state of gratitude and make yourself feel so much more peaceful before bed. It has a huge impact. Love it. So I've gone through 5 rituals with you, and just to remind you, recap, we did the morning grounding breath, which was 3 to 5 minutes of inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6. The check-in pause, so stopping 2 or 3 times throughout the day to check in on your energy level, how you're feeling, what your body needs. Journaling at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, just journaling to bring you present on how you feel, what your body's asking for, and the sensations of the present moment. You've got the sensory reset, where you can pick one sense and focus on that for 2 to 3 minutes. Just really focus on it, bring you into the present moment. And then the evening release and gratitudes, where you release something you no longer need to hold. So just remember that you don't need to do all 5 of these in a day. So you can choose one that feels the most nourishing right now and do that. So I'd love to know which ritual you want to try first. Set your comments below. And if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe so you can get more things like this and just connect more. And if you would like to go deeper, I would love to invite you into the Sacred Pause, my free group in school, where you get loads of content like this, loads more stuff that I'm about to release to help support your journey on regulating the nervous system. And yeah, I would love to see you on the inside. I'll put the link below. But for now, I will see you soon.